Hi readers, welcome to Novels with Nat. Today I am back doing my favorite summertime activity, and that is going to free little libraries. So I've already actually been to the libraries. I didn't have time, I was in a bit of a rush, so I didn't film before I went. I went earlier. And so I do have a little haul. So first I'm going to put the footage that I got at the libraries to show what they had, the ones that I went to. I will say that I probably didn't do a very good job filming it. I was kind of rushed for time. I had somewhere to be after, and it's always hard to film with one hand and look at the books with the other. So apologies if it's not the best. I tried my best. So I will say that in this video, I didn't do a very good job of showing the books that I was dropping off. I did, I think, in some of the clips, get an after shot, but just know that anytime that I took a book, I 100% did replace it with another book. I had a bag in the car with me, and I was dropping them off at the libraries as I went. So this is actually my second time doing a free little library video. The first one that I did, I was in one neighborhood. I'll link that video down below. This time I was in a different neighborhood, so the libraries are all a little bit different. And I think I've got some good books this time. So I'll put the footage right now of the libraries, and then I'll meet you back here in a few minutes to go over the ones that I got. Okay, so a little voiceover. This was the first one that I stopped at. It was like a really pretty blue and green. It was super cute. It was mostly kids' books in this one. There was a couple adult books, but I didn't recognize any of them. Nothing for me in this one, but it was very cute. On to the next one. This one was in like a community center parking lot. There were a lot of older books in this one, some pregnancy books. I have no clue what this was. I did see this book, which, funny enough, I dropped off in this library probably 6 months ago, and it was still here, so that was kind of funny. On the top, I did see this Greg Hurwitz novel. I didn't end up taking it. It sounded interesting. It looks like a thriller, but I think it might be part of a series. I'm not sure. It was an ARC copy though, so that's kind of cool. On to the next one. This is one of my favorite libraries. I always find good stuff in this one. I saw this book by Millie Bobby Brown. I had no clue she was an author or that she was writing novels, but I did take this one. I was excited to give it a shot. They also had Eat, Pray, Love and a couple of mass markets. I didn't really recognize any of these books down here. I have heard of this one. It's a thriller, and I did want to read this one, so I did end up taking that one. So these are the two books that I ended up taking, and then in their place I left 4, a Nicholas Sparks, The Rosie Effect, A Vegan Cookbook, and Gone Girl. In the next one, I saw a copy of End of Story by A.J. Finn, the author of The Woman in the Window. That would be good. I do have a copy already, but that's good for someone else. Hopefully they'll find it. This one was double stacked, so it was hard to see all the books. I saw a Cass Green thriller, The Killer Inside, but I have that one already. Then I found a copy of Archer's Voice, which I think is pretty popular. That was a good find. Then I found another Cass Green book, Don't You Cry. I don't have this one, so I did end up taking that one. And then on to the next one. This one was mostly children's books and young adult books. They did have some adult books on the top. They were mostly nonfiction, a little bit older, nothing I was super interested in. There were, however, a lot of ants in this one. Kind of unfortunate, they were all over the books, crawling on the inside, so I was trying to be a little bit quick. This one had a really pretty cover. I have no clue what it's about, but I liked the cover of this one. So nothing for me. I did a really quick tidy and went on to the next one. This one was super cute. It was in a tree. It was very hard to film though because you had to keep the door open. So I had the door resting on my head. I had my camera in one hand and then I had my other hand to move the books around. So it was a bit of a mess, but I did end up getting a shot towards the end. I didn't find anything in this one, but they did have quite a few books to choose from. And then this one was near a school, so it did have a lot of children's books. It also had a lot of mass markets. I'm not too into the little mass market books. Um, I didn't get anything from this library, but I did end up dropping off a couple of young adult books that I had that I was unhauling. I thought this would be a good location to leave them. They had quite a few books to choose from. The top is mass markets again, some older books. I did see a copy of the Silver Linings playbook. I loved the movie when I saw it years ago. I've never read the book, so I did end up getting that one. I'm excited to try the book. Then I saw this one. I thought it was a Liane Moriarty book. It had a very similar cover, but it was a different author. Hadn't heard of it. They had some young adult books in this one. I think this is young adult. And then I also saw a thriller, which I hadn't heard of. The Last Word, it was called. It sounded interesting. And then this is the last library that I stopped at. It was super tiny. They had like 5 books in it. Nothing for me, but it was just a really adorable library. Okay, so we're back. Let's go over the books that I ended up picking up. The first one that I got is actually a pretty popular book, from my understanding, and that is Archer's Voice by Mia Sheridan. Um, so I'm definitely not a romance reader. I very rarely read romance, and I think that's what this book is. Yeah, a love story. The reason I got this one is because it happens to be one of my sister's favorite books. And so when I saw it there, I was like, okay, maybe this is my chance to grab it since it's free and I can give it a shot. So I grabbed this one. I will definitely try it. It's out of my comfort zone, but we shall see. Okay, this next book I was excited to see. It is called Belleville Square. This book I actually used to have a copy of, and it was like a used copy that I got at a library sale, and it was really beat up. Like the dust jacket was ripped and there was some water damage. So I ended up unhauling it a while ago, but I did still want to read it. And so when I saw this book there, I was excited because now I can read it. This one I am particularly interested in because I think it is like a thriller, but it's set in an area of Toronto, which I'm Canadian. I like reading books that take place in Canada. So that sounds really cool. I'm excited to try it. Very happy to see this one there. Okay, this next one is The Silver Linings Playbook. Now, this one I have never read. I have seen the movie. I liked the movie. I love Jennifer Lawrence. So when I saw it, I thought I would give the book a shot. I don't typically read, like, if there's a book and a movie, I will always read the book first and then watch the movie, unless it's a case of like I watched the movie years and years and years ago, and I really honestly don't remember much about it at all. So I think I'm safe to go into the book fairly blindly. I don't really know what happens. I can't remember. But I'm excited to try this one. I will say I'm never usually a fan of the movie cover of a book, but it was free. I'll try it, and if I do end up really enjoying it and want a copy for my shelf, I will keep an eye out for the original cover. This next book I actually know nothing about either, but I was really curious because when I saw it there, the cover, first of all, was really pretty. It's called 19 Steps, but then I noticed that the author is Millie Bobby Brown. And I was like, okay, that's a pretty unique name. And then I flipped it over, and sure enough, it is the actress Millie Bobby Brown. So that is all I know. I like her. I think she's a good actress. I think this is a bit of like a historical fiction story. It takes place in 1942. Um, So I don't know much beyond that. I didn't even read the synopsis, but I'm intrigued to give it a shot. So there's that one. Okay, this next one is a thriller by Cass Green. It is called Don't You Cry. I have another book by this author. I can't remember the name of it offhand, but they had a copy of that one in the library as well. They had two of her books, and so I ended up grabbing the one that I didn't have. Um, this one is like a stolen baby trope, which I tend to enjoy in books. It always feels like really high stakes, obviously. So I'm excited to try this one. It's blurbed by Ruth Ware on the back. I like Ruth Ware a lot. So this should be a fun thriller. Okay, this next book I've never heard of. It is called The Last Word. I have read a book called The Last Word by Taylor Adams, but this is a different book. So this one I was intrigued by because it's described on the inside flap as a literary mystery, which I really love that genre. And it also says that it's perfect for fans of Richard Osman. Um, so I was intrigued. It's also blurbed on the front by AJ Finn, who's the author of The Woman in the Window, which I really enjoyed that book. So I got it. I tend to, with free little libraries, because the books are free and you're just kind of trading in other books that you're finished with, I'll be a little bit more adventurous with what I pick up because I feel like it's a really good opportunity to try a book that you wouldn't want to pay full price for. So I am excited to try this one. A lot of times I have done that and I found like new 5-star books or I found new authors that I really enjoy that I look out for in the future. So that's why I picked this one up and I'm excited to get to it. I will say, I think free little libraries are like one of the funnest things to do on a weekend. It's just such a fun activity for book lovers and for readers. You never know what you're going to find. There's always something for everyone. I would also say I really enjoy looking at free little libraries in different neighborhoods. There's always like a different vibe to the books. Like some neighborhoods, there'll be a ton of romance. Then other neighborhoods, there'll be a lot of mysteries. And some neighborhoods, there's like all kids or children's books. So it's really different. It's always fun to explore. And I do have my favorites, my favorite libraries that always have something that I'm interested in. So I definitely visit those most frequently. Let me know in the comments if there were any books in the libraries that I missed that you think I should have picked up or that you would have picked up. Please, if you could subscribe to this channel, it would mean so much to me. I make a lot of different book videos, book reviews, reading vlogs, tier ranking videos, free little libraries, thrifting, all of that. Having a really good time doing it, and I would really appreciate it if you would look out for videos from me in the future. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in another one very soon. Bye.